She's never said who her God is. She's like some of us. She wants a private relationship with God, not a public relationship with God. She wants all the benefits and none of the obligations and suffering. Now here's what she does. She comes out of the proverbial closet. Haman wants to kill all of God's people. She raises her hand and says, where's the list of all the names of God's people who are to be killed? And with this statement, she essentially takes the pen in her hand and walks up and writes her name on the list and adds it to the death sentence. She's finally identified herself with God's people. Have you done that? Have you done that? See, there's this ridiculous nonsense that all you need is a personal relationship with Jesus. Good luck finding it in the book. I've read the whole thing a few times. I can't find it. You do need to have a relationship with Jesus that is personal, but not solely personal. It's like a kid who gets adopted into a family. They need a relationship with their dad and all the other kids in the family. That's what it means to be part of the family. You can't just have dad and no brothers and sisters. It doesn't work like that. Adoption by the Father is adoption into the family. Some of you are like that. You're like, I don't want to be part of a church. I don't want to be in community. I don't want to be under authority. Just me and Jesus. The Bible knows nothing of that. It has God's people. And Esther here is identifying herself with God's people. An attack on God's people is an attack on you. A criticism of God's people is a criticism of you. And that's exactly what Esther demonstrates. She could have kept a personal relationship with God. Just walked away from the entire crisis. Oh, they're going to die? Well, no one knows I'm one of them. I'll have a personal relationship with God, not a public relationship with God, and then I won't have to suffer, and I won't have to be ridiculed, and I will not have to be murdered. It's a great privilege and honor to be one of God's people. And I would encourage you not to be yet another selfish, modern, individualistic, consumer Christian who really doesn't care about God's people and just uses them for convenience and then criticizes them when services are not conducted and goods are not provided. And I would ask you to not live in that way, but to live as Esther does. She has nothing to gain by identifying herself with God's people. There's no reward, there's no benefit for adding your name to the list of those to be murdered. She's just counting it a great privilege to be numbered among God's people, part of God's family, associated in community.